Hello everyone, my name is David. Thank you for watching today. Video today is about the good times with the narcissist. And I listen to my clients tell me about their abusive relationships that they're trying to recover from. And all the time, the first step really, or in the beginning of that process, when people are telling me the stories of their abusive relationships they had, they will unleash. I mean, they'll tell me everything. It could be, if we're talking 5 years, 3 years, or 10-year relationship or longer, there's a lot. As all of you know watching who've suffered from a narcissistic relationship, there's a lot. And so they want to get me familiar with what's been going on and what the relationship is like. And they tell me about the cheating and all the lying and the manipulating, and they didn't do anything in the relationship, and they triangulated and they lied about everything, and they hurt them all these times and all these bad fights and broke up with them all these times and all these things, right? But even after they're done telling me that, they recognize that they want them back. Yeah. So I made a lot of videos about this, we could call it the trauma bond or the addictive element to an abusive relationship, the highs and lows that we become addicted to. Feel free to watch other videos I've made about that. But today I want to talk about the good times, because that's what they can remember, really. That's what they focus on. And that's what victims want back, right? They don't want the abuse back. They think about the good times, the pleasant times, the happy times. I mean, they have to exist. The abuse didn't start right off the bat. These little inappropriate behaviors subtly leaked into the relationship, little bits at a time, till it became a little bit more acceptable, excusable, until eventually, oh my gosh, here I am telling a life coach about all these horrific things my current or ex partner has done to me. And they're like, God, they're awful. There are a lot of things. And so what I clearly have to do with a lot of people is bring the abuse to their attention. Like, I know you just told me about all this stuff, but most victims tend to suffer from many of the similar things. One of them is this unawareness of how bad it really is, how bad it really was, the horrific things that victims endured, and how bad it felt, and how helpless and hopeless they felt, no help, nowhere to turn. Those we can forget. We tend to. See, our brains have that inner voice telling us all the time what we need, or watch out for this and stuff like that. And it's good, we need that. Can help keep us safe. But weeks, months, years of manipulation, of gaslighting, of telling you the way things are, which are untrue, that the sky is green and the grass is blue. And if they kept doing this, you accepted some of that, you lied to yourself a little bit to let it continue. It's like just they raveled you around. They just kept wrapping these lies around you more and more and more and more. And I try to unravel that. It can take quite some time. One recommendation I always have is for people that are minimizing the abuse that they went through, excusing, not even realizing it's abuse. I've said this a lot, I've offered this a lot, and we talk about part of the work you have to do. This is something that really, really can benefit people, to help people be totally conscious and aware of their choices. Okay? So if you are in an abusive relationship, so much of that, you have to lie to yourself. You have to go back to them, over to their house the next day. You have to wake up to them and spend the rest of the day with them, whatever it is. The relationship continues. So you have to excuse or lie, kid yourself, pretend it's not true, didn't happen, he didn't mean it, she didn't mean it, they're abused as a child, they'll never do it again, they were drunk. Constantly, somehow excusing it to continue the relationship, you know? So what needs to happen, guys, is clear, conscious awareness of what you guys are doing, the choices you're making. Drug addicts will tend to, after getting off drugs, they will do the same. They will tend to forget the bad times, glorify the good times, even glorify their addiction and how bad it was to turn it into something great. Mine was worse than yours. You have no idea what I went through. It was amazing. You know, like even that, I don't know. Dreams, their dreams. Drug addicts will dream about their addictions, their drug of choice. You guys are doing that too, huh? So clear consciousness, awareness of your choices. We talk about how to break the trauma bond, how to stop obsessing, things like this. And the reason is it may feel vulnerable or weak and may contact them again. Or if they contact me, I might give in and go back to them and give them what they want and get hurt again. I don't know what to do, right? A lot of people have experienced that, or you might be here right now. I can tell you guys right now how to make sure you don't do that. If you do what I tell you, you won't go back to an abuser. Okay? You have to stop doing what I'm telling you to do to go back to an abuser. So, if you were forced, if you made sure, if you did this all the time, all day long, every day, if you feel vulnerable and weak, that you might succumb to your abuser's advances and you might go back to them, or you might even contact them yourself, and you don't want to, and you know how damaging and destructive that can be, and you're scared and you're worried. If you start being completely clear and conscious and aware of your choices, you can't do that. You can't do that clearly, consciously. You can't go get abused and stay in an abusive relationship completely aware that you're doing it. I don't think most of you, if not all of you, could do that. You have to write down every time you're presented with a choice, and you have to write down what choice you want to make, how that will benefit you, what choice you should make, how that would benefit you, how that would hurt you. And then after you make the choice, you have to write down how you feel about it, how it benefited you, or how it hurt you. And if you spent your days doing this, because that may be what it takes for some people to not make the same mistakes over and over and over again. I talked about putting your hand on the burner, right? We know it's hot. We know they're bad. We keep putting our hand on the burner. We keep going back. We keep picking up the phone and answering them, even though it hurts us. So we have to be conscious, right? Be totally aware of everything you're doing, everything you're feeling, why, how it's serving you, how it's hurting you, what you should do next time. And I promise if you live like this, at least right now, of course we don't want to have to live our whole life doing this. But if this is how bad it is, you guys are scared, this is how you will do this. This is how you will not clearly go over to them and get abused. Because you'll have to write it all down. This is why I'm doing it, that I want to get abused, right? Because what's the biggest answer you think people say after this relationship, after they find out about narcissism? I didn't know. I didn't know they were a narcissist. I didn't know that they were doing this to me and stuff. Yes, I believe that. I've been through it. That was what I said. But I also wasn't clear about my choices at all. When I started talking to somebody and having to be accountable for the decisions I make, the choices I made, then I was like, why did I do that? Why did I do this? Why did I choose that? You know? So being more aware and conscious of my behaviors and my choices, my actions and stuff like this, it helped me be accountable and responsible. And you can't be. if you're being abused. Yeah. So, the good times with the narcissist, that's what we focus on. That's what we remember, right? That's what our brains want to hold on to, because that's life. That's staying alive, is the good times with that person. No, that's not true. And you need to keep unraveling all these lies and manipulation and tell yourself the truth, that that's the burner and it's red hot and I don't want to put my hand on it because every time I do, it burns, it hurts. Stop doing this. Yeah? I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps. Really, if you guys are struggling that bad, start being more conscious and aware of what you're doing. Start writing every choice down and why you're doing that. And what's bad from it, what's good from it. How does this choice serve me? Because if it's not serving you, only hurting you, you're not being aware of what you're doing. Right? Hope that makes sense. Hope that helps. Like always, ask me any questions you guys have. Share stories if you want. Recommendations that you have of your own to help stuff like this, to help get those good times out of your head. I think write a list if you have to. Make it as long as you can of every little thing this person did that was wrong, that was bad to you, that hurt you, that affected your future. Everything you did because of this relationship that compromised your health, your safety, your future, your children's. Everything you lost. Time you'll never get back. The money. Your heart being broken. Psychological damage. Write it all down. Be clear on what you chose to do for so long so that you don't clearly choose it to do that again. Right? Hope that helps. Thanks, guys. Yeah, any recommendations, any experiences you want to talk about, please do down below. Love yourself first, and I'll see you again. Bye.